Good morning, Thomas.
Morning. What's popping?
Well, look at this. I'm in this beautiful boat out in the Pacific Ocean.
Damn.
Isn't that just too bad?
How do you survive? How do you live this life?
I don't know. Look at the kitchen. This is better than an apartment. I used to have an
Jeez.
apartment.
I was gonna say this is better. This is probably better than Chris's old apartment in San Francisco. There's an upstairs,
Oh, there's 3 levels.
3 levels.
Yeah, so here's level number 2.
Jeez. Is anyone even watching where the boat's going?
Well, yeah, this guy's driving.
That guy right there. Man, he's driving
Yeah.
good. He's doing a good job, I can tell.
I mean, isn't this beautiful?
God, life is so hard, Sally.
Well, anyway,
That's pretty incredible. Have you guys started fishing yet, or are you going back?
oh yeah, no, the lines are in the water.
Oh, okay,
Then we
gotcha.
have 2 staterooms.
Are you trolling? I take it you're trolling.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Look at Thomas. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Now look. Now we have a go downstairs.
Oh, there's a 4th level.
Actually, there's 5. We're gonna go down. Here is stateroom number 1.
Damn.
Cool. Now look at then you go downstairs. There's more. There's 2 bathrooms. Another stateroom. Anyway,
Damn.
I hate to tell you this, but I was listening to the call, and then I just kind of fell asleep. The boat was rocking.
It was kind of dry.
Well, he sounded in a pretty good mood today.
He's in good mood. I was focused on other things, so I totally was distracted. I was kind of half in, half out. This boat is ridiculous, Sally.
I know, isn't it?
What is this? A $250,000 boat?
I have no idea. I didn't buy it.
You didn't have a midlife crisis? I think that's when most dudes buy boats, or they just love boats.
I'm waiting for my midlife crisis. I plan on living to be 300. I mean, this has a full refrigerator.
You're right on schedule.
Full dishwasher. There's a dishwasher in this boat.
That's ridiculous.
Latte machine. So anyway, I don't know how useful I'm going to be today, because I wish we'd get a fish while we're talking. So, what was the call about today? He just started talking about how he said his rant today was something about women, and I just didn't get it.
It's about how, he's very much on social media. So the talk was very much about social media, presenting yourself and having good habits. And it was about how, more or less for me, the takeaway was that if you want to be successful on Instagram, be dramatic and have a struggle. And don't talk about how good you're doing. But if you don't want to succeed, then just talk about how well you're doing. Or if you really want to succeed, like in life, you just don't have to share anything and you can just kill it every single day. It was the first time he's ever talked about his wife. Never talks about his wife. First time he ever talked about her.
Well, it's also something about how successful women don't go on social media or something like this. And I thought, well, I don't, but I don't, but I just don't.
It's not that they don't go on social media. It's that they don't post on social media. They don't broadcast their life.
I thought women spent their life on Facebook. At least my friends do. I don't even know how to use this latte machine. And I was a barista. Did I tell you?
Were you really? You were a barista at some point? Were you a CEO of Starbucks?
I was. I went to work for Starbucks because I needed insurance. it was before I got old enough. Well, actually, before I had insurance anyway. So I was, I don't know, 60 something. And I thought, oh, why not Starbucks? Because I was taking care of my mom and we were living in Utah. And so I went to work for Starbucks, which was a trip all in itself. See, a funny thing, Schultz was running Starbucks then, and I just love this boat. And he'd written a book about, America's great and, help America workers and all this crap. So I was in there working one night and I looked around and everything was made in China. Even the apron, my green apron, was made in China. So I didn't have anything to do for a minute. It was a slow night. So I looked up his telephone number and called. And
No, you didn't.
I did. I called. It was, his work number, and his
How'd you look
voicemail
up his cell
answered.
phone number?
No, I didn't have his cell phone number. I looked up in the company directory.
That's incredible.
So anyway, so I called him and I said, Mr. Schultz, this is who I am. And, I'm really confused. You're talking about helping the American worker, and yet everything in the store that I'm looking at, including the green apron that I'm wearing, is made in China. What's up? So next day, I'm at work during the day, and my boss comes out and she says, you got a call from Mr. Schultz's office. I said, yeah, okay. So I took it and this person said, hi, Mr. Schultz asked me to call you first thing today and let you know that we do have a problem, and a lot of our stuff does come from China, but we buy in such volume that nobody, like our cups, for example, the manufacturer can't keep up with our, you were at Starbucks, welcome to Starbucks cups. So she said, here's what he's going to do about it. He agrees it's ridiculous. And so we are going to contact some small cup manufacturers in the States and see if we guarantee them sales if they won't ramp up their production to be able to sell us stuff. But he wanted to make sure you understood and that it was a good point. So I thought, that's pretty good. So then I had to explain why I had called Mr. Schultz. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking interesting, Sally.
I want to live on this boat.
See, it all sounds good until there's a storm. And then you're like, I'd rather be on land. Land sounds better.
Yeah, we don't go out when it storms. I wish we'd get a fish. We're out looking for coho salmon today.
That sounds fancy.
It is. What are you going to do today?
Got to ship my whatnot orders, which is going to be a miserable experience because I didn't know what I was doing.
I'm so sorry. The guy with the boat showed up at 4:00 at my house yesterday, and I couldn't just say, I'm busy. So instead I had drank wine. How did whatnot go for you?
It was an experience.
Yeah, you don't sound real happy about it.
Yeah, no, I wasn't real happy. So financial wise, it was fine.
Really?
I mean, by fine, I mean, like, I knew I was going to lose my shirt. So I lost my shirt and, kind of as expected. But when it comes down to like the mental aspect of it, that was more draining than anything financial. My God, look at that.
Oh, you want to see something? Oh, I did a video
There's like
last
junior mints in the bottom.
Yeah, look at, I made magic brownies last night, and I videoed it, how I did it.
Are they CBD or THC?
THC. I made the butter with my magical butter machine.
Nice.
And then I brought a bunch of sandwiches. Oh, there they are. Oh, and I also made some yummy cookies but these aren't happy cookies.
Where are they? Ginger snaps?
No, I hate.
Oh, they're Buckeyes. Oh no, they're not Buckeyes.
They're peanut butter cups.
Oh, those are good.
You make a little cookie in a mini muffin, and then you stick a Reese's peanut butter cup down in them while they're hot.
Looks delicious. I think the Buckeyes are like the chocolate chip cookies with the Hershey Kisses on them. No,
Yeah.
that's not. I could be wrong. There's some stupid thing
Then-
called a Buckeye. What is that?
Elk pepperoni.
You kill the elk?
No, somebody else killed it. It was
Damn.
secondhand elk. Oh, here. Where do you? I put it. Oh, here they are. I also have you ever seen the little sandwiches that you make or that you buy that are round and they're crustless peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
Yeah. Oh,
Have you
the Uncrustables.
Well, I thought I can make those, so I did. Look, I make my own.
Nice. I've never had them because they look so weird and gross to me.
Mm.
But man, you're
They're
living a
really
life
good.
of luxury over there. Elk
I am-
jerky, lattes,
Jeff.
self-made Uncrustables,
Now
magic
that guy
brownies.
right there, see that guy?
Yep.
That's my friend Jeff, and he's right now on a call to China. Bill wants a donut. Okay, I got donuts.
What's
Anyway,
he?
he's on a call to China. He's this kind of a wizard guy. It's such high tech that he went to MIT also. Here, Bill, and he's from Malaysia. Anyway, so he gets on these calls at the crack of the back of dawn every morning and talks to China. So I asked him, well, how do you wind up, going to MIT? Because he lived in Malaysia, really kind of poor life. And he said, well, I had an aunt who lived in the US. And when I was about 14, she got hold of my parents and said, look, how about a jet came over to America and let me help with his education? And so they said, do you want to go? And he said, the only thing I knew about America were the Playboys that I had hidden under my mattress. So he said, what, go to America? Women walk around? Of course. So we came over to the US, didn't speak any English. And I said, okay, well, how did you wind up going to MIT? He said, well, my aunt looked at me when I was, 17. She says, okay, you're Asian, you wear glasses, you have funny teeth. You're going to go to MIT and be an engineer. So he did.
Damn.
And he does this really narrow field of technology that he is just like the world expert in.
You
So
told
I
me
have
it's
really-
like
he works on the testing of stuff that we're not going to see for 3 or 4 years.
it's pretty badass.
Yeah, come on.
Does he speak?
bitch, bye.
Does he speak Chinese?
I think he speaks several languages, I believe. Obviously,
Damn.
he speaks Malaysian. Hell of a
Damn.
cook. Oh, look at that.
It just follows the knowledge that if you're good at one thing, you're typically good at everything, because that's the kind of interest you have in the world.
Well, if you're really, I have the most interesting friends. So wait till I take you to France with me later this month. That is going to be so much fun. So anyway, enough
insane.
about me. But look at this.
Wait,
Exact.
It's the same thing. Wait, so how did you meet Jet?
Let me see. I met him through another friend. He wanted to learn how to clam dig. And so this friend said, hey, I've got this guy who wants to know how to clam dig. And I said, yeah, all right. So I took him clam digging, instantly fell in love with him. And now he lives at my apartment for a couple months during the summer, takes us fishing all the time, cooks my dinner, I cook his, we go clam digging. Oh, and you've seen the view from my house. He has an apartment in Portland, which is just 100 miles up the road, that is exactly like mine. He looks on one end and sees Mount Hood, on the other end, the club. He's right on the river. So I have keys to his house. So when we have to leave early on a trip, I just go up and spend the night, because he's rarely there, spend the night at his house, and then don't have to get up the crack of dawn and go to Portland. So
Wow.
we trade keys, yeah. And then my kid in Paris, in Bordeaux, is going to give me the keys to the apartment in France that he was going to get rid of, but he decided to keep because I said I would really, if it weren't for the cost of hotel and food, I'd be going to Paris more often. He said, well, wait a minute. I've got this apartment, like, and I was going to sell it, but you know what? If you're going to come to it, I'm going to get some more furniture for it and give you the keys. So, I mean, it's not, I mean, sure, other people stay there, I think. But anyway, so that's my sad life. Look at all these fools out here fishing.
Man, that's a brutal life, Sally.
I know. I tell you, I'm no good on a call this morning. I'm like, look at all these people.
Well, see, it's variable because your call right now is like mind blowing to the point at which someone else watches this and is like, Thomas is boring as always. He's sitting in the same chair with the same shirt, looks pretty boring. Sally, meanwhile, was clam digging the other day. Today she's on a 4-story boat.
The spare boat is bigger than the boat that I've had. That's the spare boat on the roof.
See?
Yeah.
Is this Jet's boat? Is this Jet's boat?
You know what? No, Jet, a fish just jumped right there, a big one. Right off of the port side. It was big.
The great thing about fish, though, Sally, is they move. So
no,
you
run
throw
over
your
there and get that one.
Yeah, you throw your line over there, and it's weird. They may have gone somewhere else.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to make this damn coffee machine work. So there it went on. Do I want espresso, coffee,
Cappuccino.
You know what cappuccino is?
Yeah, milk and espresso.
Well, but the cappuccino, like a latte, is made of milk, an espresso shot or two, and a 1/4 inch of foam on the top.
Yeah, you froth it.
And an espresso, a cappuccino is all foam, depending on how light you like it. And Europeans like theirs really light. So it's a lot. Look, I don't know what I'm doing here. Jen, have you ever used this coffee machine? No, he hasn't. Okay. Oh, no, now it's doing something.
Ooh, buddy. Oh, it's going right on the, you need to put a cup under it, Sally.
No, it's cleaning. It's cleaning itself. So, you know what the best part about working for Starbucks was? Have you ever
talking to Howard Schultz?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Actually, you know who else I talked to is Robin Williams.
At Starbucks?
Yeah, he was an avid cyclist, and he would come to St. George where I live because there was beautiful country and lots of cycling. And in fact, we had a lot of well-known people there because nobody really cared, who they were. And so he was just sitting there having coffee, and I said sup, and he said sup, and so we had a moment. But the best part about it was you tend to surround yourself with people like you. And I was pretty good at whatever I decided to do. So I went to work at Starbucks, and I didn't know shit. Here were these 18-year-old kids without a high school diploma who were able to do these complicated drinks and all this stuff much better than I. It also, I got a chance to, learn a different life. These kids are kind of living as I did or wished I had when I was 18. So it was good to get out. It's really good to get out of your comfort zone anyway. Okay, he said there's coffee in here somewhere. He said, you just put the beans in. Oh, look at the beans. They're already in there.
I think there's a few beans in there.
Oh, I can't get it. Do you think you're going to kick me off the boat if I ruin this machine? Hell.
Is it Jet's boat?
No, huh? And it's J-I-T. No, it's Jet's friend, Doug.
Okay.
Was also a most interesting guy. He was in the high-tech field. That's how Jet knew him from that. Jet he showed me his car, and I said, that is the cutest car I've ever seen. It was like a work of art. And I don't feel that way about car. I'm not a car person. But this one I just kind of kept staring at. And I said, I didn't know if it was some exotic, Toyota or what. It's a Lamborghini.
Mhm.
A little white Lamborghini. It's just beautiful. But he doesn't like to drive in traffic, so it sits in the garage a lot. He drives my green Jeep. All right, we're
Oh,
gonna
it's
try
here.
this.
It's not in Malaysia.
Oh no, nothing's in Malaysia except his parents.
Oh, okay.
No, it's here. He told me I could.
Oh,
He said,
does
"What?
he work here or in Malaysia?
Oh yeah, no, he has houses here. He was just born in Malaysia.
Oh, okay. He lives here. Got it. Got it.
Of
Got it.
course,
Got it.
yeah.
Got it.
And he
Okay,
lives in
got it.
my.
I was under the
He moved
impression.
in for the summer. All right, now I'm gonna hit coffee. Oh, now I think I'm gonna hit the go button. Listen to that.
You did it.
A baby. So I can't get the lid back on this coffee pot. The coffee part. I'm not gonna
Is
say
it ever
anything.
crazy to you that like there's a boat, you're on a boat, it's crazy, you can't imagine building it. It's just kind of unfathomably beautiful. And we're sitting here like, I wonder how the stupid coffee thing works.
I know. And I've got a guy speaking in a foreign language about a technology that we won't see for 3 or 4 years. Bill might have a fish on. No, the line's going the wrong way. Yeah, life isn't bad. That's why when people talk about, when you retire and you don't have anything to do. Oh my God, I have a list of things so long to do. I have stuff to do that I haven't even started doing yet. Oh God,
Why was eBay ever on the list?
Well, I told you, Eric, the kid that lived with me when he was a kid, was doing it, and he checks in with me. I'm one of his, I guess I was other mom, spare mom, and so I help him do whatever he's doing, and he was doing eBay. So I was helping him and getting him organized a little bit, and he said, Sal, you ought to do this. So I looked around, and I had some stupid machine I bought to make, I don't know, something. So I listed it and sold it overnight, and I thought, God, this is easy. What's the big deal? And so that was it. I started it, and now I'm at 900. I think I'm pretty close to 900.
Was it ever on the list? I just don't understand. So you got 10 million, you got people with boats and clam digging and 20 million things to do. I just don't understand why you ever chose this.
Well, let me tell you the kolache story. You don't care, do you? Can I tell you the kolache story? Bill was traveling.
The one about the knickknacks.
Yeah, that's it. The kolaches. You put them on, you have to dust them all the time. Well, Bill was born in Houston, or now he's born in Louisiana, actually, but he would take me to Houston to see his folks. And I would go to these little places called kolache factories and eat this wonderful little pastry that had sausage and stuff in it. So he was traveling a lot. So I was sitting around the house in Utah, and I thought, I'm going to learn to make those. So I called the kolache factory headquarters. They're a big franchise. And I said, they must have thought I was important because I got connected up the chain. And I said, look, are you ever going to open a kolache factory in Utah? Absolutely not, because we make a lot of money off coffee in Utah because the Mormons is big on coffee. So no, we're never going to open up. I said, okay, well, do you have a school that you send your people who want to run a store to? Well, yes, we do. And I said, well, I'd like to pay you to go to that school. I'm not going to open up a store, and obviously it wouldn't be competing anyway in Utah, but I would like to learn to make kolaches. And they mocked me. They laughed. In fact, he put me on the speakerphone and mocked me publicly.
What?
And he finally, he was just saying, you can't do that. What are you talking about? I said, look, I'm asking you nicely. And he said, let me put it this way, lady. I think his two cousins who were also his wives were in the background and said, listen, lady, the only way if I haven't made this clear to you, the only way you're going to learn to make a kolache is work at a kolache shop. And since we ain't opening in Utah, that's out of the question. Click. Jesus, that pissed me off. So Bill's brother lives in Houston. So I went online, because in Texas you can do anything online, and I got my food handler's permit. Then I called his brother and said, Bill's not home, knows nothing about this. I said, can I come live with you for a month? He said, sure. Will you cook? And I said, of course I'll cook for you. So I went down there and he said, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm going to go around, get a job at a kolache shop and steal a recipe. He said, well, what are you going to do? I said, well, it's pretty obvious. I'm going to walk in and say, gee, I'd like to work here. He said, no. He said, he's got this wonderful Southern accent. He says, no, that's not going to work. You learn to say, are y'all hiring? So I said, okay. He said, the other thing is, he said, don't use my address. He said, let me give you one of the rent houses addresses, because this is the highest zip code in the United States, and they'll never buy it that you live here and working at a kolache factory. So I said, okay. So I went in and said, are y'all hiring? And then I couldn't stop myself. I said, I really need the work because my husband works as a greeter at the Walmart in Utah, and they laid him off, and we're down here with family, and I just need to get some money coming in. So they hired me. And I changed my name too to Florence Underwood.
You changed your name?
Yeah, text, you can do anything, they didn't look at it. So my name was Flo Underwood. That was because a couple of my girlfriends, very close friends, were giving me a bad time. They said, why'd you pick Flo Underwood? I said, so when I send you a letter saying how much fun I'm having, I can sign it F you. So I went to work at the kolache factory, and man, it was a lesson of a life. There were these Mexican ladies working there, and they hated me. And they just hated me. And I didn't figure out till later why. So I had to pretend I didn't know anything. I think I told you that's where I was next to the college, and the guy came in. He was just a jackass. They all treated you like crap because they think you don't know anything. And he said something about the weight of it. He said, but then you'd have to know the weight of the atmosphere. And I gave him the formula.
Yep.
And he looked at me and I said, I don't know how I knew that. So I went back to work. Anyway, I worked there for 6 weeks, got a recommendation. She said, if you ever want to come back, you've got a job. That meant more to me than anything, because they didn't know if I was smart. And I couldn't be smart. I had to just fit in, which I didn't very, very well. And I stole the recipe, came home and made kolaches. So that's that. So,
did you fake a Southern accent the entire time?
No, I faked a stupid accent, just kind of uneducated, because I can't do so. A real Southerner can tell, if you have a Southern accent. What I did is I put myself on tape delay, which is a lot like a Southern accent, where you just count to 3 before you answer anything. And that worked. But it was really an interesting experience. I have pictures of me in my kolache factory hat, going to work, wearing a hairnet, and figuring out how to steal a recipe. So anyway, I decided, they were so mean to me, those women, that I hatched a plot that I was going to go back. I was going to drive up in a limousine, get out, go in, tell you, do you remember me? And of course they would, I thought, because I'm memorable, and say, I won the lottery. This is Flo. I won the lottery. I'm buying this place and I'm firing all your asses. So I didn't stop there. I actually made all the arrangements. I go down.
Wait. I thought you were there nice to you.
No, they were horrible to me.
The kolache factory people?
And the workers, not the boss. She loved it because I could add and work a cash register. But the workers in the back hated me because I could add and work a cash register. So anyway, I go back down and I'm thinking I'm going to go and make a strafing run back to the kolache factory just to make sure those same biatches are working there. So I went down, I went in, I came out, and Bill said, well, what are you doing now, crazy woman? I said, I can't do it. And he said, why not? And I said, that is the best job those women are ever going to have. It's the best job. And there weren't a lot of opportunities for them. So as a Caucasian woman who could work a cash register, I had my pick of jobs, and I chose to take one from a community that was looking for work. So I kind of began to understand why they didn't want the the white woman who could work a cash register to come in and take a job from one of them who really needed a job. So because it really is, you know, a white woman applying for a job at the kolache factory is more likely to get hired than a brown person coming in, and that's really sad. So that was the end of the kolache story. I didn't go in. I didn't tell them they were all fired. I hated them a little bit less, and I thought about what I felt like being on the other end of the stick for 6 weeks, and knowing that I could come out of it anytime I wanted to, versus those that was the best job they were ever going to have.
Do you know the story of the World War II marathon runner guy?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay. Of course, I don't remember his name, but there was a movie made after him. I only read the book. General story is this guy was a runner. He ran the mile. He approached 4 minutes. He's really, really good. And then he got drafted during World War II, served around Hawaii, Pearl Harbor. And if I remember correctly, he's on a boat and he practiced running. He ran the whole time, and the whole group really supported him because he's really good at it. And one strange thing about him is like his body type, his hips were like strangely forward, which allowed him to have really good running form, run faster than everybody else. But regardless, he was on a boat capsized. It's him and another guy on this raft. Somehow, you know, it's a crazy story. The guy survives, the other guy doesn't. Someone picks him up, and it turns out who picks him up is the Japanese, and the Japanese take him to a POW camp.
Of course.
Treat him terribly. You know, the whole thing goes crazy, but there's one, like, I don't know, sergeant within the Japanese military that's just especially rough on this guy because his, like, I don't know, his charisma is so strong that he just will not let himself die. Like, he will not let himself lose. So
Sounds like John McCain.
Exactly. So the Japanese guy is just treating him terribly, beating him constantly, making him do terrible things. And the runner hates him so much, hates him more than anything in the world. Then, although I'm not a huge fan of the Reformed Christian thing, whatever, the guy comes back, sees Billy Graham, goes to Billy Graham thing after he gets back and the whole thing is said and done, becomes a Reformed Christian, ends up somehow seeing the Japanese sergeant again, because I think the guy was getting indicted for war crimes. And, you know, everyone else would have like beat the crap out of him and, you know, killed him on the spot. But instead, I think the story is he walked up to him and said, like, I forgive you. And it's just because that guy
then he hit him?
Didn't hit him. Never hit him. Should have hit him. But it's just one of those, like, the guy is in a totally different set of circumstances. His job is to ruin the lives of POWs, and that's all he knew. So to hate on him, take his job away from him to hate on POWs. It's anti-American.
You know, I could hate with such a passion. In fact, I can hate so badly that the world turns off and I see black. That's how much I used to be able to conjure up a hate. And then I read an article that said every time you run a shot of adrenaline through your body, you're taking, you know, part of a minute off your life expectancy. And so I said to myself, why should I let these bastards even take a second of this beautiful life of mine away from me? So I put getting that emotional about things you can't change I don't want to wait. They don't deserve a minute of my beautiful life. So I quit hating. I just avoid people. I'm kind of a hermit. If I don't feel good around somebody, I can kind of leave them. I vote with my feet and leave. I think I need one of these coffee machines. This is the best cup of coffee I've had since working at Starbucks.
I bet it's like a $2,000 machine. They get up there.
What?
I said, I bet
you
it's
think
like
it
a
is?
$2,000
Nah.
machine.
Oh, he's got a microwave. He's got a full oven, a dishwasher.
The full oven on the boat.
Oh yeah, he's got a full stove. It's like a Gen Air or something.
Is
And
it
well, a
gas? It's got to be
dishwasher.
electric, right? It's not gas.
No,
If it's gas.
he's an engineer. So he said he has this giant inverter that he runs the microwave. He has satellite TV on the top, so it goes when you have it on and it's trying to find its signal. Full microwave oven. It's a small oven, but it's a really good
Wow.
oven. A
Wow.
gallery made. All right. Well, I think I've probably bored enough. Do you want me to add? Do I have a fish on? No. Do you want me to add a little bit of my marijuana making video to the end of this?
Sure, Sally. I
All
love
right.
it.
Well, I'm here. If you need any advice on life or fishing, hit me up. Oh, when are you going back on whatnot?
Give me a call if there's a fish on.
I will. I'm going to do that.
I don't know.
Give
I
you a
have to
call.
decide.
Well, we will have fish. We don't leave until we have our fish. So it could be tomorrow.
Perfect.
When do you go back on whatnot?
I don't know. Probably sometime next week.
I think I would hate it.
It's hard. It's really, really hard. You're
What
sitting
was the
there
hardest
talking to
part?
nobody.
I know. Well, that's kind of like what I do with you every day.
The
Yeah.
hardest, the hardest part is that you're doing improv. You have to do a lot of
Yes.
things at once. You're literally doing improv for hours on end, and you're trying to be positive when things aren't going great. You know, like when things aren't selling for a bunch of money, yet you're trying to stay positive.
Oh, look, I did it. I figured it out.
What'd you do?
I learned how to turn the camera around.
Ooh, buddy. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That's a fancy Sally.
All right, we're going to take one more little trip up to level 2. Actually, this is the second level. There is a third level, and then there's 2 more levels down. So it's 5 levels.
It's just ridiculous.
I know, it's such fun.
Anyways, okay. I'll talk to you later.
I'll call
Sally.
you if I get a fish. Bye.
Bye.